The kitchen was my battlefield, the sizzle of pans my war cry. At 36, I, Olivia Grant, had once been Boston's culinary darling, my restaurant crimson, a beacon of innovation. That was before a food critic's false claim of health violations, later retracted but never forgotten, tanked my reputation and my business. Now I ran a small bistro, Ember, pouring my heart into every dish while raising my son, Miles, the light in my darkness. At 10, he was curious, kind, and the reason I kept fighting. But before we go into our explanation, we have a very small request. If you like our content, please support us by subscribing to our channel. This is a small click for you, but for us it means a lot. Thank you. Ember's opening night was a modest success, the tiny dining room buzzing with locals. Nora Bailey, my friend and manager, clapped me on the back as we closed up. "You're back, Liv," she said, her smile warm. Nora had been with me through Crimson's collapse, her loyalty unwavering. I wanted to believe her, but the scars of failure lingered, whispering doubts with every quiet moment. Elliot Pierce, my ex-husband, chose that week to reappear. He called, his voice a venomous drawl. "I'm filing for custody of Miles," he said. "You're unfit, Olivia, a disgraced chef, barely scraping by." Elliot had abandoned us when Miles was 2, chasing his law firm's corner office, but now he was back, wielding his wealth like a cudgel. I hung up, my hands trembling, and told Miles it was just a work call. His trusting eyes broke my heart. Gabriel Voss, a food supplier I'd met at a farmer's market, was a bright spot. He delivered produce to Ember, his charm disarming. Dark curls, a crooked smile, and a knack for making me laugh. We'd started dating, stolen moments over coffee or late-night talks. But when I asked about his past, he deflected, mentioning only a complicated history in New York. I ignored the red flag, too caught up in the warmth of his touch. Claire Redmond, a rival chef, cast a shadow over my comeback. Her restaurant, Azure, was a Michelin-starred juggernaut, and she'd never forgiven me for outshining her at a culinary expo years ago. Claire spread rumors that Ember was failing, her words dripping into food blogs and local gossip. "Olivia Grant's a has-been," one post read, and I felt the old scandal resurface, a wound that wouldn't heal. Nora rallied me, digging into Elliot's finances for leverage. "He's got skeletons," she said, her eyes sharp. "We'll find them." Her confidence steadied me, but trouble escalated. A new article hit the press, claiming I'd bribed inspectors to pass Ember's health checks. Lies, but they echoed the old scandal. I knew Elliot was behind it, his revenge calculated to destroy me. Miles overheard me arguing with Nora, his small voice asking, "Are we in trouble, Mom?" I hugged him, vowing to protect him, but fear gnawed at me. The culinary world was a knife's edge, and I was bleeding. The press hit was a gut punch. Blogs and local news ran with the bribery story, and Ember's reservations plummeted. Customers whispered as they left, their plates half-eaten. I shielded Miles, driving him to school with forced smiles, but his questions, "Why are people mad at you, Mom?" cut deep. I leaned on Nora, who was already working her contacts. "Elliot's paying someone to smear you," she said, showing me a paper trail to a shady PR firm. "We need more to nail him." Gabriel was my refuge, his arms a safe harbor. We met at a quiet park, Miles playing nearby, and I vented about Elliot. Gabriel listened, his hand brushing mine, but when I asked about his life in New York, he tensed. "I'm married, Liv," he admitted, his voice low. "But we're separated, have been for years. It's almost finalized." My heart sank. Married? He swore the divorce was imminent, but his vagueness left a crack in my trust. I let it slide, needing his support, but doubt lingered. Nora's digging paid off. She found emails suggesting Elliot was bribing a food critic to tank Ember's reviews, tying it to the old scandal. "He's also got offshore accounts," she said. "If we can prove it, he's done." I threw myself into the fight, contacting old journalist friends for dirt on Elliot's law firm. Meanwhile, Gabriel grew distant, canceling dates with flimsy excuses. One night, I found a text on his phone from an unknown number. "We need to talk about Olivia." My stomach twisted. Was he hiding more? Claire struck again, passing off one of my recipes, a saffron-infused risotto, as her own at a food festival. The press lauded her genius, and I seethed, confronting her at Azure. "You're pathetic, Olivia," she sneered, her eyes cold. "Stay in your lane." I left, humiliated but determined. Nora urged me to sue, but I needed evidence. I checked Ember's security footage, spotting Claire's sous chef near our kitchen days before the festival. She was playing dirty, and I was her target. Elliot escalated, sending a letter via his lawyer. "Drop the custody fight, or I'll expose your boyfriend's secrets." The threat chilled me. What did he know about Gabriel? I confronted Gabriel, showing him the letter. "Elliot's bluffing," he said, but his eyes darted away. "My wife's trying to drag out the divorce, that's all." I pressed, and he promised to settle it, but the text I'd seen haunted me. Miles sensed the tension, clinging to me at night. "Is Daddy coming back?" he asked, his voice small. I hugged him, promising he was safe, but my fear grew. Elliot's vendetta, Claire's sabotage, Gabriel's secrets. My world was fracturing, and I was running out of strength to hold it together. Ember was a ghost town, its tables empty as the bribery story lingered. I poured my energy into Miles, helping with his homework, baking cookies to make him smile, but the custody hearing loomed, a dark cloud. Nora's private investigator confirmed Elliot's bribe but needed more for court. "He's hiding money offshore," the PI said. "Give me a week." I clung to hope, but time was slipping away. Gabriel's wife, Elise, showed up at Ember, her presence a storm. "Stay away from Gabriel," she hissed, clutching a photo of us together. "He's mine." Her desperation rattled me, but I stood firm. "He says you're separated," I said. She laughed, bitter. "He's a liar. Ask him about New York." I called Gabriel, demanding answers. "Elise is unstable," he said. "She's lying to hurt me. I left New York because of her." I wanted to believe him, but Elise's words echoed. Elliot's next move was catastrophic. He kidnapped Miles from school, leaving a note. "Drop the custody fight, or you'll never see him again." Panic seized me, my vision blurring as I read the words. I called Nora, who rallied her legal contacts, and Gabriel, who insisted on helping. "I know you're mad, Liv," he said, "but I love you and Miles." I let him in, desperation trumping doubt. Nora traced Miles' phone to a motel in Rhode Island, a lead from his smartwatch, a gift I'd given him for emergencies. Gabriel drove, his hands steady on the wheel, while I called the police, my voice shaking. At the motel, we found Elliot, smug and defiant, with Miles curled up, scared but unharmed. "You can't win, Olivia," Elliot said, his smile cruel. Gabriel lunged, but I stopped him, dialing Nora. The police arrived, arresting Elliot, and I held Miles, tears streaming. "You're safe," I whispered, but the terror lingered. Back home, Claire sabotaged a health inspection at Ember, planting expired produce in our fridge. Nora caught her on camera, confronting her sous chef, who confessed under pressure. I used the footage to file a complaint, but Claire's influence slowed the process. Meanwhile, Gabriel showed me divorce papers, claiming they were finalized, but Elise's accusation, "Ask him about New York," gnawed at me. I recorded Elliot's threats during a confrontation, his arrogance my weapon. The storm was raging, but I was fighting back. Elliot's arrest was a turning point. Nora's PI delivered the offshore account evidence, tying him to fraud. The judge revoked his custody claim, citing his crimes, and I regained full custody of Miles. Elliot faced prison, his law career in ruins. I held Miles tight, his laughter returning, a balm to my wounds. Gabriel came clean, admitting he'd fled New York after Elise's threats, not lies. He showed me the finalized divorce papers, his eyes earnest. "I should have told you everything," he said. I forgave him, our bond stronger for the truth. We took it slow, rebuilding trust, but his presence steadied me. Claire's empire crumbled when the health board fined Azure, her sous chef's confession sealing her fate. Ember roared back, critics praising my resilience. I opened a second bistro, Hearth, with Nora as my partner. Miles thrived, his confidence growing, and I started a culinary mentorship for single parents, turning my pain into purpose. The scandal that once defined me faded, replaced by stories of my comeback. I stood in Hearth's kitchen, Miles drawing at a table, Nora joking with staff, Gabriel delivering produce with a smile. I'd fought for my son, my passion, my life, and I'd won.